Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoy this next video. This is a Milford Sound part 2. There will be lots of clips from the cruises, the kayaks, some hikes around Milford Sound, and also clips from our induction week. I hope you enjoy. So we've just got on the boat for the Southern Discoveries Milford Sound cruise.
Good morning folks, welcome to Milford Sound, welcome aboard the Pride of Milford. My name's Adam, I'm going to be your skipper for the cruise around the fjord this morning.
Complimentary tea and coffee on board. So as part of our onboarding, we were lucky enough to get the cruise included in our first days before starting our training, which was super exciting for us. And in the next clip, a lady from Southern Discoveries talks about the glaciers.
So all the valleys around you today were all carved out by a glacier about 12,000 years ago. And they actually converged right in the middle, directly in front of us here, and formed a super glacier that was about 2 kilometers thick and as wide as the fjord, and that moved at a rate of 7 meters a day.
So all of the staff on board were super knowledgeable and really informative too. As you can see, there were lots and lots of waterfalls, just so breathtaking and surreal to watch. I could have sat there all day drinking my tea and watching many different moods here with the weather and watching nature unfold. Good morning, so we're just about to start our breakfast service. We'll be delivering these beautiful boxes to the chalet doors. So during my first month I had a couple of days training with the breakfast shifts and the cleaning, just in case they did need me at any time, but I was predominantly reception. So we've just had the most gorgeous lunch at our induction. So as you can see here, extremely yummy dishes, followed by a gorgeous Indian style dinner prepared by our chefs. And here we were given a lovely nature walk by Aniki. During the day, work had treated us to a cruise for the day, and luckily it was so sunny and just the perfect day to admire all the beauty. And here we see some rare penguins over there. They were so cute. And here we see some albatross. We were so lucky with all the wildlife we did get to witness on this cruise. And at our induction evening, we had lots of sociable get-to-know-me games too, as well as some dancing, of course, in the evening. It was so much fun. These next few clips are some footage from our Milford Track day walk by Fjordland Outdoors. So here we were getting off the water taxi and arriving at the Milford Track day walk. So the track actually begins at Sandfly Point and takes you right up to the Gate Falls and back. It's roughly a 3 to 4 hour return, and as you can see, just absolutely beautiful. The Milford Track day walk is actually just a section of the Milford Track 4-day hike and is known to be the greatest walk in the world. Stunning scenery with rainforest, mountain and various flora and fauna along the way. From having experienced this day walk, I can confirm that this is the greatest walk of all time, and I highly recommend booking it in. The day walk itself is only $75 per person for the return water taxi and self-guided hike. We were lucky actually with all the waterfalls, as they were so powerful, as it had actually been raining the night before and began to rain during our hike also. Snow-capped mountains, a very mystical day, and crystal clear water too. Not to mention all coming from the glacier too. So here we were arriving at the Gate Falls, just a perfect stop, which marks the halfway point to the track. Clear, calm, streaming water, and we just sat there and admired the view for a while. The only issue were the sandflies, of course. So we do advise lots of sandfly repellent. This bridge was pretty cool. And here we were arriving back at the sandfly point to get the water taxi right back to the deep water basin. And as you can see here, it was such a gorgeous evening. So here we are back at Bedrock with our lodgy board. So in the next clip you see that we have prepared our bechamel sauce for our pasta dish. We were making a pasta bake with bechamel sauce and also bacon pieces too. Thank you to our friend Mark, who also helped prepare this dish with us. And here I am sprinkling the cheese on top of the pasta. And here is our finished dish, pasta bake. So this was us at our Halloween social. So these next few clips are from another cruise. So in total I went around 5 times because I just loved it so much, and each time really offered a different experience with the weather, the waterfalls, and of course the sunshine is always nice. So I loved how the water would just spray out. It was really awesome with the wind and off these dramatic cliffs. It was really special each time I went.
We're actually pretty lucky seeing these guys. These are the second rarest penguins in the world. So 2 of them moving down towards the water towards us. 55 meters above us. This is one of our largest permanent waterfalls here in Milford Sound. Head on up top. Get a photo in here while the sun's here. It's looking impressive.
And this was such a magical moment for us all, seeing this rainbow. So this is Key Summit, a 3-hour hike in the Fiordland National Park. It gives panoramic views of the Holyford Valley and the Fiordland Mountains. It was stunning when you reached the top. It was a hard walk, but very rewarding when you reached the top and you could see the views and you could see Lake Marion itself. It's part of the Routeburn track and it starts at the Divide car park. It's about a 45-minute drive from the Milford Sound Lodge. And it's free, of course. It was such a joy, so rewarding. And here we see a lovely small stream of glacial water coming down there. It was such a sunny day too, which was always lucky. We also did witness some cheeky Kia up in the trees too. Good morning, we are currently on the Morning Glory Sea Kayaking by Roscoe's in Milford Sound. So again, we were so grateful to get this with work, and especially working at reception. It really gave me an insight into the tour and to be able to advise and sell out our trips to the customers, of course. But it really was just phenomenal. I think my favourite experience so far here actually in Milford Sound. You got to get up really close to the wildlife here and also up close and personal to all the waterfalls and the mountains. The trip began at 6:30 where we got changed and did safety instructions, etc., and a nice talk from the guide. He was fantastic. His name was Austin. and just got chatting to us and shared all his knowledge, of course, of the fjord and the history there. Up next we see a baby seal. Now he was so sweet, but he got a bit scared and started making crazy sounds at us, so we did back away after that. But this was a really special moment to see a baby seal, as I hadn't seen one before. So in this next clip we see that the sun has broken through the fjord a bit now at this time, and the cloud has formed, which is really extraordinary and really beautiful. I loved how the water was so still and it was very calm. We just went right through that, right up to the waterfall, and this is after being splashed and having a facial in the waterfall. Incredible. This to me was the most special moment of the day, where we could see the blue sky and the sun was shining through, and the water was just so calm and it was just so peaceful. And here we are at our secret spot, so I cannot tell you where this is. But perfect on a sunny day to come sunbathe and even dip in the little pool there. And as you can see here, the views were sublime and everyone was enjoying their afternoon here. And up next we have the famous Gertrude Saddle. Now this was just past the Homer Tunnel, and it was one of my favourite hikes, but the hardest. It's actually, the original time is actually a 6-hour return, but we only did around a maybe 3-hour return, as we stopped just before we thought we should have. And actually we ended up at a lovely swimming spot. My favourite of all time, Lake Marion, the Lake Marion. Now this was sublime. As you can see, the water here, turquoise. So the hike was roughly a 3 to 4 hour return, and actually when you reach the end, you reach Lake Marion. It was the perfect day, the sun was shining, and so we felt brave enough to dip in the freezing cold glacial ice water. This was our Mexican night, ran by our operations manager. And in these 2 clips we have my pottery class I went to in the village. So in the next clip we have some footage from my audition for Christmas.
To know where the treetops they glisten, oh, and children they listen to hear. And the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. There's had to be taught tomorrow. At least I'll be letting ride. I really can't stay. When it's home,
And this view right here is actually just outside our rooms here. So extremely lucky and very grateful for every moment we've spent here so far in Milford Sound, and look forward to what the rest of our time brings us to. We actually ended up going to the photo centre in Te Anau, which was great. And the gentleman there, he printed out some photos for us to stick onto our walls to keep those memories alive of what we have experienced so far in New Zealand. And we hope to keep making more memories for you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time in part 3, Milford Sound. See you there.